That's the nice part. Sableye cannot plant damage counters. So a lot of the time people forget that. And now we can just go in like this with the Serena. And there's the scoop. Scoop number 1. I know. Control PJ again. Listen, Piper Lepine was able to win her second regional championship with a control deck, so we have to cover it on the channel. We're going to go through Mewtwo V Union control and Piper's exact 60 cards that she was able to use to take down the Toronto regional. What a great time. Lugia was heavily played. Lugia V-Star came out as the BDIF from LAIC, and now we're able to see a control variant just take over the meta. I was there at Toronto Regional, and I was able to witness Piper just annihilate not only people from the Shuffle Squad, but also the entire tournament. Watching her in finals play flawlessly with this deck made me so happy as a control lover, and I love seeing this deck just take on the meta. So we're going to hop over to the deck list and see what all the pieces are about in this video here. Make sure you're checking out all of the sponsors in the description of this video as well, as they help us here. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and it severely helps us out with the channel and all of our teammates here, because hitting that like and subscribe button tells us that you like what we're putting out here. But make sure you're leaving your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Let's hop over that deck list and take a look. All right, so the pivotal point here in this deck is the Mewtwo V Union. So we have the Mewtwo V Union. All 4 pieces we can see here are different styles that you can play with this deck. Now, the main attack that we'll see is the super regeneration that heals 200 damage off of this Pokemon. So things like Lost Box can't hit over the 200 damage threshold most of the time. So what's rewarding is that you put Mewtwo V Union in the active spot, nothing else is on the bench, and you're hit over and over with under 200, and you just hit super regeneration to knock off all of those damage counters turn after turn, and you're able to just mill your opponent out slowly from their entire deck. Now we use extra things to help with that damage, like the Radiant Gardevoir here, which has the ability Loving Veil that reduces all damage done to this Pokemon or your Pokemon from your opponent's V. So that helps for things like Duraludon hitting you for 220 damage. And now this ability is going to set you so far ahead because they can only hit you for the 200 damage. Another thing that we see here, because of Lugia V-Star being so popular, is there's a 4 of Yveltal. I like to call it Yveltal, but Yveltal is able to use Cry of Destruction to discard up to 3 energy per turn from anywhere on your opponent's board. Absolutely insane. We do have the Miltank as a counter here for things that don't have a way of getting around it. So if you're playing V Pokemon or Rule Box Pokemon, you cannot hit into the Miltank because of the Miracle Body. So it's just Pokemon V that you're not able to hit into it. And then the Snorlax with Gormandize. This is your draw engine. So there's 4 of the Snorlax in the deck, and you're able to just draw. Another part of the draw engine is the Pyukumuku. Not many people realize that Pyukumuku is a card, nonetheless a draw supporter for your entire deck. So the draw supporter of Pyukumuku is really great. You get to pitch a Pyukumuku. It does really feel bad if you start it, but chances are you're going to start with one of your many other Pokemon. Now, things that you'll see in the list, there's a 4 Crushing Hammer count. So Crushing Hammer, great to get rid of those pivotal energies in a deck. Things like Duraludon with their fighting energy, things like Regidrago with their fire energy. If you see something like that, or maybe even that last Aurora energy or Heat Fire energy or Hiding Darkness energy, things like that, you'll see, and you can get rid of it with Crushing Hammer. Now, Lost Vacuum, able to get rid of not necessarily Path of the Peak in this case, but you're able to get rid of things like Training Core to get your opponent's resources back. You can get rid of things like a choice belt that assists your opponent's V Pokemon hitting into the Mewtwo V Union for a little bit more damage. So that's something to keep in mind. We do have a 2 of Palpad that are able to get our supporters back, which is pretty self-explanatory. Now, as far as ball search go, we do have 4 of Quick Balls to discard things in your hand and 4 of Ultra Ball. Super helpful and handy to get your Mewtwo V Union pieces out of your hand and into your discard pile in order for it to activate. Now, we do have the 4 count of Scoop Up Net, able to get things like the Snorlax that is drawing you cards out of the active, especially if we use things like the Yell Horn. Now we can Yell Horn your opponent's active, even though Snorlax is in the active, it doesn't matter. It can still use the ability and draw cards, and then you can just scoop that up and put something else in play that you really want out there and just win the game. Now, another way that we have as a win con is we're able to trap things in the active where your opponent can't really do anything, with Galar Mine adding an extra 2 colorless cost to your opponent's retreat. So that is insane in something again like Lost Box, in Lugia V-Star, where you're able to trap Archeops in the active possibly. So we do play the boss's order to get those trapped there. Now you can also use Serena. Serena has 2 effects on it. One is you get to boss up something basically that's a V Pokemon, or the alternative is you get to discard up to 3 cards from your hand and draw until you have 5 cards, which is great because we want to discard things again like the Mewtwo V Union and the Psychic Energy. So you can just get those with the V Union gain and go to town on your opponent. Now Sidney is able to get those special energy cards, stadiums, and tool cards out of your opponent's hand, which is incredibly powerful in a deck like this. We definitely want to get rid of those resources. Now Flannery is able to get rid of special energies and stadiums in play, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 here. These cards are really pivotal in certain matchups. Marnie's able to reset your hand a little bit, or if your opponent has a really large hand, you know that something's coming around the corner, you can Marnie them as some disruption. Now this is one of my all-time favorite cards. I'm a Durant player. I love this card. Misfortune Sisters is so good. You're able to look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck and discard any items that you find within those 5 cards. So you really just start to mill and churn through your opponent's deck super quickly, and they can do 0 things about it, and I love that. Now Peonia is able to find those extra Mewtwo pieces, which you'll see in the games coming up that we will need to get out of the prize cards. Now you just have to remember which 3 cards that you took. That way, if you don't find it the first time around, you can use the second Peonia or try to Palpad back your Peonia. You can even Cyllene back your Peonia and try to do that. Cylene's such a great card, able to create a loop in this deck for control. You're able to flip up to 2 coins and put up to 2 cards based on the amount of heads that you're flipping back on the top of your deck in any order that you choose. So Cylene's such a great card here. We are playing the V-Guard energy that came out in Silver Tempest, also reducing 30 damage that our Pokemon are taking from V Pokemon. That's really great in something like the Mewtwo V Union here. We're playing a 4 of Twin Energy. We are able to attack with the Gormandized Snorlax with Body Slam, 2 of those on there, hitting 100 damage, really able to knock out those smaller Pokemon that your opponent didn't expect you to be attacking with that Snorlax. So we do run 3 of Professor's Research, so that's really great here. Now, Pokemon Center Lady, I have been playing this in Mewtwo V Union. I played it in Baltimore. I tested the list with some of the other Shuffle Squad people, and I thought it was way better than Cook. I really like the ability to remove those special conditions more than I like the extra 10 damage reduction than Cook had. And I think that it's really great because people are playing Galarian Weezing, able to poison your Pokemon. We don't want that to happen. It's really good in combination with the Yell Horn. Even if you have your Mewtwo V Union in the active, you can Yell Horn, and then you can use Pokemon Center Lady and just get rid of that confusion, which is really great. And we saw Piper actually use that in the finals against Arceus Duraludon. I love that play. I really think it's really an amazing move that you can do. Not many other decks can trap Pokemon in the active like that and just go to town on the rest of their Pokemon. I love this deck so much. If you haven't tried it and you're afraid of control, this list is so much fun to play, and you're going to make all of your opponents scoop if you learn how to play it the right way. So you're going to want to stick around for the gameplay here, and we'll check that out right now. All right, awesome. We are up against our first matchup here. Let's take a look and see how we can adapt on what our opponent plays. I'm going to try and walk you through step by step on how this deck is actually used. So we do have a Snorlax, which is great. Snorlax is a fantastic starter, and our opponent probably will know, based on Snorlax being only in control decks, what we're kind of playing, but we'll see what they flip over. So it is Lost Box, so that's pretty good for us. Let's take a look. We don't necessarily need the Twin Energy, but we can always attach it and kind of just attach, pass. Let's get rid of some things here. We can get rid of Flannery for sure. We can get rid of Boss. We won't necessarily need that just yet. So let's go here. We'll do this and this. Now let's take a look inside the deck. So this is really important. There are 3 pieces to Mewtwo V Union. We have that Pumpkaboo, not Pumpkaboo, Pyukumuku. I'm so used to Lugia, right? So we have the Miltank, that's good. We have all 3 Psychic Energy that we need. This is looking good. We have, let's see, both of our Peonias, so we can search out things. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my Mewtwo piece. Seems fine here because we can always research afterwards, and then we're just going to Gourmandize. Now there's no way for us to actually knock out, or our opponent to knock out, the Snorlax right away. They can Cramorant into it, and that's fine. We can put another Snorlax into play, or we can just scoop up net into an alternative Snorlax, removing all damage from play. So that's really good against Lost Box. When they start hitting you, they aren't going to knock you out, and then removing the damage from play really will set them back. So it's something to keep in mind. You have to think of your outs. Now they're setting up most likely for a Cramorant here, turn 1. They have the Battle VIP pass, so let's check their discard pile. Always want to check that just to see what their resources are. There's the Cramorant. We have the Colress. We'll throw them a heart. They think we have a good deck, so that's good too. All right. They got a Heavy Ball, so they do have 4 in the Lost Zone. So now they're placing energy, retreating. They're hitting with the Cramorant. So we know for sure that we definitely need to get another Pokemon into play. All right, beautiful. So first thing, let's get rid of the Psychic Energy and the Mewtwo piece. We're going to try to thin our hand down as much as possible. We're going to get another Mewtwo piece out of here. And really what we're aiming for is drawing towards our end goal, which should be to just Gourmandize into the Peonia and get our Mewtwo in play, and then just go from there. So we're going to scoop up net, get this Snorlax out of here, put this Snorlax down, and then research our hand away. Just getting closer here. Now we can kind of stick them with the Galar Mine, and we can go Yellowhorn. That's fine. We'll put another Snorlax in play. We can put the Miltank down. I think we'll hold Miltank for now, and then just Gourmandize. 3 more cards. Now we have our Peonia, and we can get our final Mewtwo piece, hopefully, fingers crossed. We can go right into that. Now, they did attach energy. I'm hoping that they have Stadium in hand, but Scoop of Net seems kind of sus here. Honestly, scooping that up, putting the energy in the discard, they probably do play the Magma Basin to get that energy onto Charizard, which is pretty common in Lost Box lists. I see the Fog Crystal come down. Yeah, Lost Box lists playing the Magma Basin over a lot of other things. Roxanne, I don't really know how that's going to help them. But here comes the Cramorant again. Now Comfy is stuck. without a stadium card. They probably have a switch out, but that's fine. They don't have a switch out. Okay. All right, let's try to draw into this last piece. So we're going to go even numbers here. 4, 2, and 6. Wow, look at that. That's fantastic. So we don't really need the Miltank. We don't really need all the hammers. We can put, let's see, we can put Yveltal back. We don't need that. And then I'm thinking one of the crushing hammers should be fine. So we'll put that one crushing hammer back. Now we can remember 2, 4, and 6. So if we want to draw into any of those things, we do know exactly where they are. But I don't think we're going to really need that. So let's go in and get the last Mewtwo piece right here. And now we're just trying to draw into energies. So we can kind of just sit on this hand here and do nothing for a while. We're going to hold this. Well, actually, let's get the Pyukumuku. We don't need the Gardevoir just yet, but we will need it later just to prevent some of the damage being done. Here we go. Just placing this on here just in case they do switch something up. We want to be able to do that. We can scoop up net. Now, if we look at the discard pile, we have the 1 energy. We can put Mewtwo V Union in play next turn, scoop up the Snorlax, put the twin energy on, and Union gain our way into a win con here. We really want them to get down to the bottom of their deck, and this is perfectly fine. So Temple of Sinnoh is okay. All special energies are going to count as the 1 colorless, and when we attach the twin energy to the Mewtwo V Union, it does count as just 1 colorless energy regardless because it is a V Pokemon. So there's a Clara. They're able to get that back. They're going to try and just do some damage here. So switch cart, totally fine. We can Union gain. We want to get rid of some things in their hand if they have them. So let's see if they have any stadiums or choice belts. Right now, they don't have any stadiums or choice belts. That's fine. And we'll go in here. And then let's just thin down the hand a little bit. Let's get rid of Yveltal and Crushing Hammer. We don't really need those. Again, let's draw our Pyukumuku. See if we can draw a card that we might need. That could help us. Okay. So we could go for it here pretty quickly. Let's just do that and see what happens. I think that we're in a point where we can just set ourselves up for success. We can attach. We can scoop up this. Get that energy in the discard. This comes up. And now they can place damage wherever they choose to. But we can Union gain these 2 energies right up front and heal 200 damage every single turn, which is perfect for us. We are in such a controlling board state right now. If they do anything like escape rope us, that could be bad. So we want to make sure that we're milling resources too, so we can draw into certain things. So preemptively putting the Mewtwo out is scary for a Lost Box player, but it's not necessarily the right call. Now, I know that going into the Mewtwo V Union is definitely cool, and I love doing it, but if I were to play this in an actual tournament, I would not have put the Mewtwo V Union out this early in the game, and the reason is we don't know what kind of resources. They can really trap us with a Sableye and just allow the Snorlax to stay in the active with the Galar Mine in play, and then just plant damage counters on us. And we don't want that, especially on Mewtwo V Union. So we do want to draw into our last scoop up net. So that is not a possibility. They do. Oh, they have the cross switcher here. So yeah, we really want to see how this is going to play out. There's the Sableye. They most likely have a scoop up net. an escape rope, I'm assuming. Let's check. Okay, they don't have that. All right, so that's fine. We can put this here. Let's do this, where we pal pad some things in here. We can do Pokemon Center Lady. We can do Boss's Orders. We can put those back. Let's go Gormandize. Drawing into our deck a little bit. Perfect. Now we can pull the play where we put the Twin Energy on here on the Snorlax and then try to draw into one more energy card, either retreat, or if we draw double Twin Energies and put them on the Snorlax, we can hit for 100 damage, which I'm sure that Sableye definitely would not like. Okay. Really want to draw into a scoop up net. We do have only one left. Let's see if we can draw into something. Okay. That's the nice part. Sableye cannot plant damage counters. So a lot of the time people forget that. And now we can just go in like this with the Serena. And there's the scoop. Scoop number 1. That was fantastic. The Mewtwo V-Union came out so fast. That was an awesome game. They really did not know how to play around anything like that. And I think that you'll catch a lot of players not knowing how to play into a deck like this control, because it is such a rarity to see on not only the ladder, but also in a bigger tournament. All right, we're going to see exactly what we're going to hit on the ladder right now. It queued up into a deck box that's Dragon. So let's see what we come up against. It could be something like a Regigigas deck playing Dragon. I hope it's not Regidrago V-Star. That seems like it could be an awkward matchup. I know that we can really just put Miltank in play and let it sit. Okay, we got 2 Snorlaxes. Snorlaxes? I don't know the correct English for something like that. Multiple Snorlaxes. Okay, so here we go. We've got this. We can say hello to our opponent. Give him a little heart. Perfect, perfect. And then let's put Miltank in play and then just hit the Gormandize button. See what we draw into. Okay, so there is a possibility to search the deck. Perfectly fine. Okay, so it looks like it is the Regidrago V-Star. Yep, there's the Regidragos right now. Something you don't see every day, so applaud our opponent for playing something different, for sure. I do love to see that. There's the Oranguru. Now, this Grookey could be problematic, so we really want to make sure that we're taking care of that. And the other nice thing is that Crushing Hammer is going to be so nice to us with the Regidrago, because those fire energies are hot commodities. Plus, when we're able to get rid of their stadiums, which are most likely a training court, those can pose to be really good as well. So there's a Crushing Hammer. There's a Crushing Hammer. Yes, we got rid of the fire energy. So good here. Let's go into the deck and let's see. We'll go right here, get rid of that psychic energy, and now we get to search our deck for the first time. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Very unfortunate that we only have 3 pieces again. Let's check our Peonia account. 2 Peonias, so that's good. And we have all of our energies that we need, so that's also good. So let's put Radiant Gardevoir into play. We can go in with this Professor's Research. That's fine too. All right, let's get rid of Flannery. I don't think we're going to see any special energies or stadiums that are really going to hurt us here. And we do play the 2 Galar Mines, so that's another nice part too. Let's pitch the Pyukumuku. We could really stall something with the boss, so that's also a great play. Let's just hit the Gormandize button here and see what we get out of the deck. So Peonia, that's absolutely amazing for a draw, for sure. So we can start to draw into maybe our first Mewtwo V-Union piece. Now, if I check the algorithm correctly. I know last time we checked our evens. Let's check our odd numbers and go in. We do see the rare candy come down for the Regidrago V-Star, which is totally fine if they're able to plant some energies on some things like the Rillaboom itself. It does need 4 grass energy. I'm not sure if they see the Miltank in play, but they also can play things like Duraludon VMAX, and that hits right through the Miltank. So right now we don't have anything necessarily in play that's going to hurt us too bad, even if they're able to hit through things. Okay, wow. So they have the Giratina, just the V-Star, not the V, which is really good because Giratina V also can hit through the Miltank. Right now they have no outs to this Miltank, so that's really good. Oh, gross. All right, here we go. Crushing Hammer. That should be fine. Yikes. Let's go in here. And again, we're going to try our odd numbers. So 1, 5, and 3. There is our Mewtwo piece. Wow. What an amazing top deck. So I feel like the boss's orders, not necessary. Maybe one of the scoop up nets. Maybe... that Cyllene is tough. Yeah, let's go in. Let's put one of the Cylenes back because we do have Cyllene and Team Yelcheer and Palpad. So let's start to get some things out of the deck a little bit more now. Let's get the Pyukumuku to try to draw into those other 2 pieces. We had to make a tough decision on that one, but you are playing control. So if you're going to play a deck like this, you want to make sure that you're able to make those decisions. That V-Guard energy is so good here. I think that that's going to give us quite the advantage. I'm going to hold this scoop up net and then just Gormandize, see if we can draw into some more pieces that we're going to need for later in the game. Now, the Yellhorn is going to be so good, especially once we get something like the Regidrago out front like we just did. They're going to be able to hit right into us, and now they have no other energies in play. So we're going to take a look and see. They don't have the Dragonite that came out in Silver Tempest as well to get something from the deck and put it on the other Regidrago. I know it's able to load some energies from in deck. There's the Radiant Greninja. Wow, I almost said Radiant Gardevoir. That's what I'm playing. All right, very cool. Let's see what they have to offer here. I have no Vs in play, so they're really just discarding. They have 15 cards left in deck, which is really great. If we draw into something like a Misfortune Sisters, we can try milling some resources too, which is going to make it even harder, being that they're trying to get to the bottom of their deck. Now they have a lot of good attackers, but unfortunately nothing that shreds through the Miltank. So I think that they might have prized it, and they're only taking 1 prize here. So this also seems really good. Let's see. I don't want to use the scoop up net just yet. Let's just confuse and hope. Because right now we don't have... Okay, let's play a Cyllene. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to attach active, play a Cyllene. Okay, so we do get 2 heads. We can get a Crushing Hammer and the Ultra Ball. That seems fine. And then we'll just Gormandize. Now we're able to draw right into those as well. So that's really great. Then we get 1 more piece to our Mewtwo rather. And they are confused. So they have to flip through this confusion. It's really annoying. And I love that. And we can even try to get rid of those energies. So they do use Apex Dragon. They are able to knock us out, but now they're still confused, and we can start to hit into them a little bit. We do have the V-Guard energy to draw a little bit. Let's go here. Let's use this. So we're going to get our even numbers now. Let's see what is in there. Okay. So we don't need the Yveltal. We don't really need the Lost Vacuum. Snorlax is kind of good. That's also kind of important. Let's just go... Yeah, let's go with the Crushing Hammer for now. I think that they're too far behind. The Crushing Hammer doesn't even matter. I'm going to lift this Miltank up. It's unfortunate that we did put the energy on there, but we can save that for later. We really don't care. Let's just draw into the deck a little bit more. That is fine. We could have Pal Padded here. I really don't want to Pal Pad just yet, but I guess it could. There we go. Perfect, perfect. All right. Now we're getting some pieces out. We can get rid of this and this. Go in. Get this last piece. Now, we want to draw into the ball search. So I think instead of our Mewtwo piece, we're going to just do that. And play Pyukumuku. All right, before we do that, we're going to get this and get the research. Then we're just going to Marnie. They have a nice big hand. We are unfortunately putting some cards back in their deck, but I really think that that's fine. We do get the Misfortune Sisters, again, milling them just a little bit. We can even go back in if we wanted to. Let's just hold that Pal Pad. We don't need it for anything. And we'll go from there. Cool. So again, checking their discard pile to see what type of attackers they have. Galar Mine is going to be really annoying here, especially since they just put that training court out. I think that they could retreat, yeah, and just take the knockout. Perfectly fine with me. We have quite a few things that we can use. The Serena is so good here. Now, Serena not only able to boss some V Pokemon, but they're able to, oh my goodness, they're able to discard up to 3 cards in the hand. So there we go. Nice. That's fantastic. Let's go. We don't need that. What we do need is to discard this, draw this. Let's see, we do have 1 Scoop Up Net left. So once we're able to get our Mewtwo pieces, we can just use that Scoop Up Net or try to draw into it at least. Okay, let's go here and play Misfortune Sisters. Getting rid of so many things. 3 item cards off the top of their deck. They now have 4 cards left. We can Gormandize here. Save the Pal Pad. We get the 1 Scoop Up Net. We really just need 1 more piece of our Mewtwo V Union. And we are big chilling. Again, really not able to hit the prize cards that they needed. And they are still confused regardless of the air balloon. Now, one thing that we did do, which might have been a misstep, is put the Lost Vacuum back into play. I think they might be saving... They might be saving Regidrago. Who knows? Let's try and see what they have here. We don't want this or this. We want to get that right out of here. And we can start hitting for damage. I really just want to save that. Just in case they are able to put down something, we want to buy ourselves some turns. We can try to boss something up and take a prize card. Let's see, they have 2 cards left in deck, so we're really close to decking the opponent out. Not able to hit into this Miltank is really debilitating for a deck like this, so they're going to try to maybe manually retreat. And then attack the Radiant Gardevoir. Okay. I see where their head's at. I just don't know if it's correct. Okay, there's an Ordinary Rod. They're able to put some Pokemon back in the deck to keep themselves from decking out. Again, I'm not attacking their Pokemon right now, so I don't necessarily know what they're trying to do. There we go, hitting themselves for 30 damage. Again, we could just try and make that stick. You know what? I'm going to try to draw into a few things. Let's go discard these two. And we can draw one. Yeah, let's discard the research too. Okay. So still... That was a little bit of a misplay, but that's totally fine because we want a thin hand. They need to take 3 prize cards on top of what they're doing here. So they have a 5-card retreat minus the 2 from Air Balloon. So they will have to get rid of all of their energies. And then it's another Tails. That's actually hilarious. Oof. Okay. So, we're down to our last energy. Except for the V-Guard. What we need to do, we don't want to deck ourselves out. So, yeah, I think we just wait for right now. Let's just hold this. They still need 3 prize cards to actually win. So my thought process was, okay, they have Professor's Research. Yes, they can hit the Radiant Gardevoir. We still have the V-Guard energy. And now they aren't really able to hit into the Miltank. They're going to have to boss around it. I really don't know if they have boss left. They have 1 boss's orders. Okay, this is fine. All right, so we need 4 discard. So we can go like that. We're really not able to get the Miltank out. I think we need 1 more card. So let's see if they have an answer to this Miltank right now. And then we'll try to pull the plug here. See what's going on. So 2 cards left in deck. Still no way to hit through Miltank. I feel like this list was built not being able to get out of the... Okay, so they're putting more energy back in the deck. Not being able to get out. And I know that the Rillaboom is a play that they're trying to make. Again, they put the Choice Belt on this Regidrago here. And not able to retreat. I'm trying to see what their path to victory is. Again, with so many resources here. Using their V-Star, not able to knock this out. They still only have 5 cards left in deck. And I'm not seeing an out for them. So I see that the Rillaboom is a thing. Apex Dragon, not doing anything. Okay, we need 1 more card. Okay, we could do... Can we make magic happen? I really need the V-Guard energy. Just don't want to lose this. So that's tough. Or we can go here and here. And get this piece. So now... could hold this hand and see if they have an answer. And then just go from there. I know that they're trying to get the stadium, maybe? They need 2 more energy up front. Okay. They are able to retreat, so that's fine. That is totally fine. Alright, let's see if we can do it here. Okay. I think we got it. Let's see what we get off of this. Pitch a puke. We saved our hand right for the perfect moment. Let's go in to the Mewtwo, activate the Mewtwo, put it all together, all 4 pieces of Exodia. Now we have the Mewtwo V Union. We're able to put the twin energy on it, scoop up the Yveltal, Union Gain, But before we union gain, let's make sure we pale pad. We want to make sure that we pale pad things back into the deck. We need things like the Team Yell Cheer. And I also think that maybe Misfortune Sisters could be great, but let's look at the board here. There's no energy on these, so we could use Serena. That's also a really good play here. And I think just using Union Gain will set us up for success. They are going to be able to only hit us for 140, and we can heal that all the way until the end of the game. They totally did not expect us to go into the Mewtwo V Union at this point in the game, and they were so focused on just knocking out the Miltank towards the end, and now not having resources to get the Regidrago V-Star in the active spot with enough energy is really just coming back to haunt them. So 140 damage is what they do, and we're going to have to give them the sad face, and that's a scoop. Scoop felt so good here. This deck is absolutely broken. So there you have it. That was Mewtwo V Union Control in a nutshell. Piper Lepine's exact 60 championship winning list. I love this deck. I can't say enough about it. I really enjoy just putting your opponent in a pigeonhole. They can't get out of it. They're either confused or they can't hit for enough damage. It is so cool to see this. I hope that a deck like this doesn't get countered too hard in a meta, because I really have so much fun playing it, not only on the ladder here, but also in real life. So if you haven't played it, make sure you're going down in the description and taking the 60 out, copy and paste it right into your PTCGO or PTCG Live, whichever you're playing, or maybe even purchase the cards and play them IRL. I definitely would recommend this deck if you're learning how to play some control variant, maybe came from a different card game and want to get into a more competitive scene. This is a great deck to try. It's pretty cheap as far as the costs go for Pokemon decks, and you're going to love it if you like this style of archetype. That was it for me here on the Shuffle Squad. It was PJ. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching this video, and we will catch you next time. The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com, and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.